Broadcast 4A. It's actually a Chinese satellite. They've been sending up a lot of satellites lately, which is awesome for us satellite operators. And it's a linear single sideband satellite, so it has a pass band, say like 20, 30, 50 kilohertz, and you can have multiple conversations in that pass band. And I'm going to be using single sideband to talk through it. The satellite is coming from that direction, which is kind of northwest, and its max elevation is behind that D, and it goes away behind that lamppost. And I pulled out a compass earlier, looked up the cardinal directions, and figured this out. And what I do is, so the pass will last about 12 minutes, so I watch my watch, and when I'm like halfway through, I know I should be pointing here, and so on and so forth. So it'll be here at actually 9:12, and I've been sending emails and messages online to various satellite operators telling them I'm doing a demo. So actually we have a guy in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and he's at a Hamfest, and he's going to try to contact me. So hopefully we can have a Hamfest to Hamfest contact. His call sign is WD9EWK. We only have a short window between when the satellite goes out of range for him and when it's in range for me. And because it's coming over that building there, it's going to be a little bit tight. So hopefully I can contact him. And there's another guy in Washington State that's going to try to contact me. I think it's like Kilo 7 something. And then I got a couple people in Costa Rica, but I'm not sure if they're going to be on this pass. They're probably going to be on the AO91 pass that I'm doing later.
What elevation are you telling me?
It's like 70 degrees max elevation. So
70?
70. Yeah, so it's like the max elevation is degrees above the horizon, so 90 degrees is straight up. So this pass is going to be fairly high. It's coming from the west though, so this one's a little bit unusual. The most of the satellites I work, they're more like they have a polar orbit, so they kind of go over the poles. This one has, they call it the inclination. The inclination is the degrees off of the equator, and this one I guess is a little bit lower, so it's coming kind of sideways actually for me. So actually it's a really good pass. We're going to get the whole country. Granted, out in California and Arizona at 6 a.m., so I don't know how many people will be on, but and I will say another thing to mention is, so there's Doppler shift you have to deal with. So Doppler shift is like when you have a train going by you and the horn sounds higher when it's coming towards you and lower as it goes away from you. Same thing with radio signals. The FM satellites is not as big of a deal because the FM transmission mode is quite wide and forgiving of being off frequency. But this is single sideband. If you work HF, you know those signals sound funny if you're not right on frequency. You're going to hear a lot of whistling. It's going to go real high, it's going to go real low, and it's actually really hard to handle for me, and I'm not really good at it yet, so it's hard for me to like follow the conversation. So I may have trouble, and sometimes I can't. Another thing you have to do with satellites, ideally, is you want to have full duplex so you can hear yourself coming down on the downlink. And the reason you want to do that is because you can make sure you're not, especially on FM satellites, it's a single channel. You want to make sure you're not stomping on anybody. So if you don't have full duplex, you know there's hundreds of people that are trying to work it potentially, and it's easy to stomp on people.